ground like it's a debate ground. I disagree. I think we should be looking at it like you comparing two movie trailers. I'm going to be doing this under the two worlds analysis. Now, what do I mean by two worlds analysis? Well, both of us are proposing different policy solutions. They're proposing one, we're proposing another. Now, everyone knows movies are supposed to look like real life. So, when you're thinking about the effects of the affirmative team's plan, you should think in terms of that guy who, we all know his voice, people have, super good goal plans. And when you look at the negative solution, my voice is no voice, I can't do that. When you're looking at the negative solution, you should be thinking in terms of, in a world where we've ended the grandfathering provision. We're going to be looking at that under the solvency and disadvantages, showing you how voting negative will get you a way better movie. But let's start off with the theory argument. Now, I would like to bring up a couple, so I'd like to pull through one of the responses that they have said. One of the responses that the 1NR made. Now, she said something really interesting. She said, the resolution defines the ground for debate. She said, we're not debating about the real world, we're in a debate ground, and the resolution sets the ground. Did you hear that? She talked about ground. That essentially means that what this means is that we're talking about the effects of what we do on debate. That's what theory is. She dropped the fact that you act as a referee in this round. No foul has been made. We've been able to have one of the most fun debate rounds that I've had all tournament, and we're having great clash. As my partner said, do you see two different teams going at it debating separate policy issues? Yes, you do. The ballot designates sides. They said that the imaginary box disappeared the moment we ran the county plan, but there's no reason for this. They affirm the plan. We negate the plan. This is consistent. Theirs is not. They said we have been consistent in that we're saying we should affirm the resolution by passing the plan. Yes, the only thing we've been consistent in is saying bypassing the plan. We're supposed to negate them, and we are supposed to negate them and ground that they have not chosen to defend. They want us to negate any ground, any plan that would affirm the resolution, whereas they only want to affirm the ground that they choose. Essentially, this is unreasonable. You should go negative on this question, because in the real world, they're not going to be able to fall back on this. So now let's go down to the specific voting issues. Now, a couple things that have been dropped. First, they dropped my partner's point that we claim 90% solvency, and they have, at best, 30%. Now let's look down at the solvency. This is the first reason for this is the first way that our world is better. Now, I'd like to point out that the affirmative team actually dropped their second two reasons to prefer. They dropped the point about sulfur and sulfur trioxide, and they dropped the point about scrubbers. So at worst, what you have is a counter plan that fails. You don't have any detrimental effects. So now let's look at the solvency point. They said that standards fail. Essentially, this was their claim that the counter plan is not going to work because they're unfunded. Let's actually look specifically at the evidence that I read under. Yeah, I don't have it. Anyway, their point was essentially that unfunded standards are going to fail. However, they're really not unfunded. They are funded by a real source. They're funded because coal plant operators are afraid of jail. Basically, this is what happens. When we have given this mandate that you need to upgrade, when we give that mandate, we're saying you need to do this or else you will go to jail. That's where the money comes from, because they're afraid of jail. Second place the money comes from is from the consumers. Now, I know this sounds terrible, but essentially they can't afford it because they can pass on the cost of the upgrades to the consumers. Now, how much is the cost of this upgrade? And the answer is a $2 to $4 price, maximum of $47 per year price increase, Brilliant and Pause UC Berkeley 2007. Quote, if completely turned over to consumers, the cost to modernize all coal plants would translate to about a 1 cent per kilowatt hour increase on industrial and residential electricity bills, bringing the increasing per capita energy cost approximately $47 per year. So there's the cost, we do solve, and all the advantages outweigh. Now let's look at their second reason to reject our world, which was the point that it's solved. Which was the point that it's already happened. They essentially responded to my partner's really good analysis about how this is one lawsuit and all that by saying, well, JD says so. What your JD says is that we have one lawsuit that we were cited on. He's never said the problem has gone away, and the second point actually kills it, which is the harms continue. If this point were true, then then the problem would be solved, as my partner said. but it's not. You should vote negative because you get the better solution, you get 90% saved as opposed to 30%.